Hello YouTube, Lucky Mies 205 over here. And this time we are gonna review third ship girl from the P class from the Iron Blood. Now, what is B class? B class is the advanced, upgraded version from the Deutschland class Panzerships. And our review ship girl today is Friedrich Carl, a third P class sister. Yep. She is quite impressive, I have to personally say, and very interesting design. According to the information, her illustrator is Manju Art Group, which is rather very interesting. When we take a closer look at her entire design, it is huge. It's no longer something like simple designs like her other sisters, Heinrich and Adalbert had. This is something like huge and longer design. And I have to say they did some really good job with this, designing this huge rigging. Now I have to ask you a question. If we are gonna ever have the something like crosswave type of game again, but something like open world, like the some kind of Souls game, Elden Ring types of things, or this monolith that created Xenoblade Chronicles series, something like that ever going to happen in Azur Lane? Open world designs. How are you gonna build something like this in 3D design? Well, I think the character is gonna be something easy, but the rigging itself is enormous. There's a ship's superstructure. You can barely see it. And if you wonder where this is based on, I can speculate it is from the Shield from World of Warships. That is a P-class ship. But the World of Warships decided to give the secondary mount the triple, not twin. So that superstructure, I speculate it's probably from there. As for her overall design, I believe she's very musical. Something like Friedrich der Große is. And perhaps Ulrich von Hutten? But I actually am impressed with this character design. And she has skins. This was her first skin, Game of Love, and this is Tender Summer Care, her in swimsuit. Very brave design. You can see every beautiful curve. And I have to be honest, there is something in this design I actually like, personally. Love? Perhaps it's the correct word. I love this design. Now then, how is her stats in paper? Well, this goes as following. The stats differ. The reason is Ironblood Tech Fleet Technology. Ironblood Fleet Technology, whatever, is affecting the numbers. And also, if you ult the shipgirl, that also increases her performance by 3%. So if you reach her 125, her HP is 6096, her firepower is 301, her torpedo is 259, her anti-air is 249, her reload is 185, her evasion is 68. She is a heavy cruiser, so she has medium armor. She can withstand normal ammunition and HE some degree. But when the AP is mixed, I don't know about SAP. She can perhaps survive some amount of SAP ammunition as AP, semi-armor piercing shell damage. But AP is gonna hurt, because she is medium armor. As for speed is 26. Her accuracy is 138. Her luck is 50. And her oil cost is 12. There is notable differences now that the fleet tech is involved in the stats, but not much. Now then, as for her gear, her main gun is 155%. She has one of them. Her torpedo, she has 2. Anti-air is 1 anti-air. She has 1. Well, I'm actually losing my mind here. Her main gun efficiency, 155%. Her torpedo efficiency, 135%. And her anti-air is 100%. Meaning it's just very normal, nothing impressive. She doesn't have augment module. She is the youngest member compared to her 2 other sisters, based on release date. So she doesn't have augment module yet, which is quite surprising, because lately some ships, especially event ships in the crossovers, well, whatever, has the augment modules. So it's gonna be a very long years until she gets some kind of augment module. But next up is her skills. First off, defensive. Inverted harmony. And it says as following. When the battle starts, deploys a shield. Excuse me. Last 10 seconds that can negate up to 5 enemy torpedoes, increases this ship evasion rate by 5%, and gives this ship the harmony buff. When the battle starts, if there are 3 ships afloat in your vanguard, and this ship is in the frontmost position, when this ship fires her main guns, performs tuning. If tuning succeeds, the rearmost ship in your vanguard gains the harmony buff. If tuning fails, the center ship in your vanguard recovers 1.5% of her max HP. Initially, tuning has 25% chance to succeed, and when it fails, the probability that it will succeed next time increases by 25%. But when the tuning succeeds, it will not be performed again for the rest of the battle. So let's dismantle this skill, because there are so much things to go. So she immediately deploys a seal that lasts 10 seconds, and it only negates 5 enemy torpedoes. Also increases this ship evasion rate by 5% and gives this ship a harmony buff, which is rather a very interesting combination. But this also raises a question. Is this evasion rate entire battle? Or does it last something like 10 seconds? If it lasts 10 seconds, it's kinda useless. My humble opinion. If you have full vanguard, including this ship, and she is front of it, how should I dismantle this correctly? Well, it's kinda simple. I don't have to explain much. This actually is very simple. The third ship behind the vanguard. Gets the buff if this succeeds, but if it fails, it heals, but in return it then increases the probability to actually activate. 25 plus 25. That is 50%. Now if that also fails, that then increases 75%, and that should succeed. So it's very simple. But the sad fact is that she will not heal your middle ship in the vanguard. Meaning that, well, it's useful as long as the tuning fails. But let's put that aside. Now let's go to the victory's consonants. Did I pronounce it that correctly? Increases this ship firepower and evasion by 10%. Really good start. When this ship fires her main guns, all allies with the harmony buff fires level 10 special barrage. Damage is based on the skills level and the firepower stat of the ship firing the barrage. Oh boy. So, here's the great example. I have Hindenburg in the third slot. She has decently high enough firepower compared to the Aegir. Aegir had, if I recall, 309, and Hindenburg has 338 extra 2 guns and that reload and few more. So if all this is calculated and combined, that barrage gonna be delicious. Anyway, we have then set 11. With this shocking shield, delicious skill, increases your vanguard's firepower and torpedo by 10% until the battle ends. So this is a really nice buff indeed. Also, something really cursed. Activates all at Assault 2. B-class once every 8 times the main guns are fired. Right now I have a B on her, so that's gonna take ridiculously long. Almost. Well, closely enough to 1 minute. If I am wrong, but if we combine the reloads from the good old beloved Bismarck from the Will of the Iron Blood, increases the reload by 12%. She's gonna give some really nice buff reloads to the all members of this fleet. Whoopsie daisy, that was meant to happen. But for all that, because her AA is lackluster, she has 40mm Bofors Stag. Few more 25 and improving her survivability because she is on the front. So the auxiliary, the dishwasher high performance hydraulic steering gear, is gonna be very useful. Now then, before I actually fall asleep here, let's go to the voice over. Hello YouTube and Azur ship commanders. Well, that's oddly put. Lucky me is voiceover here. Friedrich Carl. Believe it or not, this is my second attempt for trying to understand how to play Friedrich Carl and having my opinions about her. Even I was surprised that my first attempt was somewhat kind of a bit confusing because one, I did something I shouldn't, making 2 reviews in one day, and that completely messed up my mind. Even I was surprised. And I had a work day in the early morning, so that too kinda made my thoughts a bit confusing, but now these my personal problems aside, now I'm more confident giving my full opinion about Friedrich Carl and her overall performance. Now I also noticed, beside her combat performance, was also her personality. If you ever want to do kind of deep dive into her dialogues, you see that she is very love-focused character. Well, personality. Like, in the name of love, or this is sign to express our love to each other, so on and so forth. Comparison to the Heinrich is energetic. Did I pronounce it correctly? And then the Adalbert is more relaxed personality, but still takes battlefields her own way of seriousness. As for her Friedrich Carl, her character design also focuses something kind of musical, like Friedrich der Grosse comparison. But now let's put those personalities aside. how about her performance? Well, it took me almost 2 days to actually notice if you put Adalbert, Heinrich and Friedrich together in the same vanguard. There is a little bit a problem, should I say it. First of all, Adalbert is not that tanky as we hoped, because of her skill is kinda ruining her survivability. And then the Heinrich is more focused to the attacks, and Friedrich Carl acting like support, and also she wants to be in front of the vanguard. So what is going on here? Well, it took me Operation Siren 1 map completion to actually notice, well, sectors, that they can actually work as long as you have correct shipgirls that doesn't just buff their combat performance, but also their survivability. Like example, having Crash Zeppelin on the same fleet, and Crash Zeppelin is a must. To increase survivability 15%, that damage reduction, and I highly recommend that. Also, I also found that, was it Inverted Ortent? That heals 1.5% of middle ship HP from its max HP. Well, it took me also... Well, it shouldn't be surprised that once her main guns fire, there is a 25% chance to activate this... What is this? Tuning to the most... Where is the rearmost ship in your vanguard? Let's put it the Heinrich behind the rearmost position. And Friedrich Carl's tuning actually succeeds, either in a first try or on a second attempt. Now it took me just 2 attempts to make tuning with the Friedrich Carl to the Heinrich. And what did Adalbert get? 1 healing. And this is the type of problem I personally am not a fan of. You have a skill that performs specific thing that really seems to be really, should I say, important, or something like what you want to have. But then the skill behaves in a way that it throws that specific thing away, what you see the most important. Like the healing effect. Once the tuning succeeds, Friedrich Carl throws that healing effect away on that fight, and you need to start a second fight to actually go over the same thing. But in return, your rearmost ship gets this really nice buff. Well, tuning. Harmony buff. Let's just say the... where is this? Over here. Victory's Consonance. increase this ship firepower and evasion by 10% when this ship fires her main guns. All allies with the Harmony buff fire level 10 special barrage. Damage is based on the skill level and the firepower stat on the ship firing the barrage. So it relies on the firepower stat and this skill level to be useful. But in the end, it just boosts Friedrich Carl at the start of the fight, if I notice that in my test runs. But there is something what I would like to call design flaw. What is this design flaw, if you think? Well, inverted harmony is defense. And let me point out, defense is supposed to behave like defense. At first, inverted harmony gives a torpedo shield that only lasts 10 seconds and can negate up to 5 enemy torpedoes, and increases this ship evasion rate by 5% and gives this ship the harmony buff. So it seems Friedrich Carl increases her evasion rate and gives herself harmony buff, really good, and shield that only lasts 10 seconds, really good. But then the battle starts if there are 3 ships in your vanguard and this ship is in frontmost position, and when this ship fires her main guns, performs tuning. If tuning succeeds, a rearmost ship in your vanguard gains the harmony buff. If tuning fails, a center ship in your vanguard recovers 1.5% of her max HP. Initially, tuning has 25% chance to succeed. When it fails, the probability that it will succeed next time increases 25%. When tuning succeeds, it will not be performed again for the rest of the battle. So there goes the useful part, the healing. And this ship has to be in front. Not big fan of it. But if you build fleet correctly, like I have right here, Hindenburg is behind, Jet 11, was it 12? I need to check this language again after this, it's getting embarrassing. And then we have Prince Ruprecht, Crash Zeppelin and Bismarck. And with this all combined, also I almost forgot the Move officers as well. These are, in the end, with the right equipment also, she can work. If you build fleet correctly, of course. And what is this special barrage? It seems to be those white balls that seems to be homing ability. I believe that must be the barrage this skill mentions. And I like this interesting barrage that seems to be aiming. But if you bring her to the map 14 like I did, it seems those energy balls and that barrage seems to miss enemies some reason. And more I think about this map 14, I'm starting to dislike it even more because skills like these, they lose their potential. Not big fan of map 14, I confess. Now then, as for the all-out assault, 8 times to must fire the main guns. Well, there was the main gun. There's so much potential in this ship. But how she was planned to work really throws the wrench in the performance. So you have to rely on other ships to make her work. But sadly, if you have something more suitable for Friedrich Carl, like replace her to the frontmost to the vanguard, then unfortunately it is. But she is one of the options how you want to play. How you want to play the map. She is one of the options. And how you want to plan your vanguard around that. In the main campaign she lacks AA, so I wouldn't bring her there, unfortunately. But in Operation Siren and perhaps PvP, I did test her in PvP, it wasn't spectacular. Or War Archives and future events, she can work in those. They don't require high anti-air and their enemies are decently well balanced that she can actually work against them. And in Operation Siren, you need some kind of back fleet that can keep her and the vanguard alive. She can work. She can work if you build the fleet correctly around her and the performance. She has really good skins, I will say, at the end of the day. Interesting character, I will say. She's a very interesting character. But that's all I'm going to say about Friedrich Carl. She was so close to be good. So close to be good. But then there's a wrench that throws her performance away. But that was all my opinion. She is good, but there's a just small flaw in her combat performance. What is your opinion? I'm gonna end this video right here before I drag this too long. Thank you so much for watching my content and this Friedrich Carl review. If you want to share your opinions upon her, please do share your comments down below. My name is LuckyMias205. If you want to see more of this type of content, subscription is one thing, and also hitting the like button improves the algorithm shenanigans. Take care of yourselves and your shipgirls, and see you next time.